Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Mental Conditioning Monday. I am your host, Elliot Allen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I thank everybody for tuning in each and every week. I always try to take my time sometimes and really say thank you to all of you guys that tune in each and every week. I see you out there. It means everything to me. It gives me the motivation to continue on with the message, and I appreciate your support that you come on each and every week for us. Hopefully, everybody out there had a really good week. Here in the New York area, we had, again, another tumultuous week with the weather, with the snow. But we definitely also want to take a few minutes to just kind of give our prayers out to those people that are down in Texas. I know they got really hammered hard with the snow, just an unexpected journey for them, obviously, with the weather. This is, you know what, everything for me comes back to, mindset and just being in the challenge of life and being ready and prepared for the unprepared situations in the unprepared scenarios down in Texas. That's just something that they just were not prepared for. But at the same time, mentally, you have to get back on the bike and just keep on going, even though this is not something that we're expecting to just have a blizzard like conditions down there. But at the same time, it's still a matter of resetting your mindset, putting that into physical execution, and saying we have to figure out a way to get out of this. So that's just a disastrous situation down there. Our prayers go out to anybody and everybody that's out there, trying to, navigate through that situation. Very, very tough situation that they're going through. So with that, let's kind of get into Mental Conditioning Monday. This week. This week's message has really been on my mind for a couple of days, and there's so many different pieces that gonna go into this message this week. And the message is gonna be, but if I. What do we mean when we're talking about but if I? We're talking about delivering messages to ourselves. This is a big part of forward progress in life. We have those conversations with ourselves, and how we deliver messages to ourselves is critical to our mindset. We talk about self-evaluation and how important self-evaluation is to us. But once you do your self-evaluation, how do you deliver the messages to yourself? It's really an important thing. And for me, the example would be, I've been on my journey of, I parallel physical and mental health. That's really a big thing for me, and how similar they are and how they work hand in hand. Last year, I was really in a great rhythm. And really, the past couple of years, I was really in a great rhythm of doing my physical training. But I had some changes in my life, changes at work, that put me in a different position. I'm working out of a different office. And so it really was kind of tumultuous and really turned everything around. I had to kind of try and go to a different gym and try to find a rhythm of going to different gyms. And unfortunately, it's kept me out of the gym for about 4 months, the physical gym. I haven't really been in the gym since September, and my body feels it. And in the evaluation part of that, each and every day I come home, is like, oh man, I'm trying different things. I'm trying different things to get back into the gym. And then mentally sometimes like, man, I just can't get into the gym. But then there's something that has to come into your mind. I can't get into the gym. But if I can't get there. I tried this gym. I wasn't comfortable working out in this particular gym. But if I have to keep adding that, because that gives me the option to deliver to myself, hey, you know what, right now I'm really having a lot of trouble going to the gym. But the message to myself is, you can't give up. There's always going to be a way for me to try to figure out, how do I do that? I'm having trouble getting there because of the rhythm of the work that I'm doing. That's throwing me off. The gyms that I'm trying is not working for me. That's throwing me off. So it's very easy to be like, I just can't get to the gym. But the biggest piece to that message, that's a message that I'm delivering to myself. I can't get to the gym. And that's the reality of it. That keeps happening. Everything that I try, it's not working out. I just can't get to the gym. But if I is the most important piece to that. That's how I deliver that message to myself, to keep trying different pieces. And I'm a little excited here today because tomorrow I have another option that I'm going to be trying that I'm really excited about. And I think that's the piece that's going to really allow me to get back into the gym. I'm actually going to be going back to the original gym that I felt like the most comfortable in. And I definitely feel like I got myself in the best possible shape in that gym. But if I got to make some extra concessions to do that. I'm going to have to get up a little bit extra early to travel to that particular place and then go ahead to my place of work. I can do it. But that's the delivering of the message to myself. I can't get to the gym, but if I. And I had to say that numerous times. Let me put that in another context for you to even clear it up, even make it the situation even more clear. When we're delivering messages to other people, a lot of times how you deliver that message is very critical to if they're going to hear it. You can be talking to somebody. You can be trying to give them, somebody may come to you for advice or something that you're seeing, they're going to ask you about it. And when you deliver to that message to them, what's the purpose? This is really, really, really important here. What's the purpose of you delivering that message to them? Is that purpose for them just to hear you? Or is that purpose is for them to receive the message that you're giving to them? It's the same thing for us. When we deliver these messages to ourselves, it's for us to be able to receive it. Because when you can receive that message, that's when you can execute upon it. That's when you can go ahead and do things in order to push forward because I received it. If I'm just hearing that message, there's nothing I can really do with that. So it's that way when I'm delivering messages to people, when I'm talking to people, I try to make it as receivable as possible for that person. Because sometimes you can say things, and this is really a kind of a funny thing, because not ha funny, but it's a funny thing, it's a challenging thing, because we hear that term sugarcoating. A lot of people say, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I understand what you're saying with that, but sometimes I personally believe that you have to be really careful with that and the deliverance of the message, because yes, you could say something to somebody and say it really, really hard, and sometimes that's necessary. But what's the most important deliverance of that message is for that person to be able to receive it. That's why you're telling them that. I want you to receive this because I want you to get better behind it. And it's the same way when we deliver these messages to ourselves. We have to look at it like, I'm trying to receive this. So whenever there's a challenge in front of us, it's okay it's imperative to be able to be honest about that challenge. Man, this is a big challenge that's getting ready to come up here. I'm not sure I can do this, or I don't think I can do this. But when you take long drives, if you're going to drive down to Florida, which I'm a person that I do love driving. But as I get a little bit older, those long drives become a little bit more challenging to me. You know, it's nothing for me, certainly 5, 6, 7 years ago, nothing for me to jump in the car and drive down to Florida and I go straight, drive 24 hours, no problem. But I noticed the last couple of times I did it, it became a little bit more challenging. I still enjoy doing it, but I realized this, I'll say to myself, man, 24 hours, that's a long drive. I don't think I could do it. But if I make sure that I get the proper rest the day before, whereas maybe before I didn't have to do that. Before I go to bed at the same normal time, get up, jump behind the wheel, still do my 24 hours. You struggle a little bit, but you can make it happen. But as you start to get a little bit older, you're going to start to realize, you know what, that was a little bit more challenging than the last time. And you start to question, you know what, I'm not sure if I can do it. But that's when you start to take another look at the journey. You start to take another look at where am I trying to go? You start to take a look at the life destination of where I'm trying to get. And that becomes the overwhelming progress. That becomes the overwhelming form of, you know what, I'm really motivated to get there. So even though I may say, I don't know, this is going to be a tough challenge for me, but this is really important in relationships. We love to keep going to that area of relationships because I think it's important, because that's the most emotional thing a lot of times that we go through. And I'm not just talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. It could just be relationships, family, son, dad, mother, daughter, whatever it is, brothers, siblings, cousins. You say, you know what, I don't know if I can make it in this relationship. But if I can make that adjustment, that'll make that relationship get to the point of where I want it to get, no matter where it may be. Sometimes that may be that, you know what, this relationship, for it to work and for it to flourish, is going to be a relationship that I can't necessarily be in and spend as much time in as I did in the past. That might be your but if I. The but if I is not always going to be necessarily the fairy tale ending. The but if I sometimes is, you know what, I have to stop doing that. The but if I sometimes, I just told you about my challenge with the gym. The but if I was the gyms I was trying to go to, it's not working out. I didn't feel comfortable going to those gyms and physically working out for whatever the reason. But that's my but if I. That was a negative, because it's like, I'm here, I forced myself, I made all the necessary adjustments to go to this particular gym. I'm here, I did it, and I didn't feel right. It's very easy now to be like, I just forget about it. But if I try another gym, try another challenge, try another way to make it happen, this is where I'm delivering the messages to myself in order for me to receive it, not just hear it. And that's something that you have to really take a look at, the difference between delivering those messages and hearing it and making it receivable to the target, whether the target is yourself or whether you are trying to deliver a message to somebody else. The critical piece here is being able to make it a receivable message. That takes tremendous amount of mindset when we're doing it for us. This is really the most important part about it, is when we're doing it for us. When we're delivering that message to us, this is where we have to have tremendous mindset exercises to understand that it's hard, because now you're dealing with that all important but also difficult self-evaluation piece. It's hard first and foremost to do that self-evaluation. Now you're doing that self-evaluation and it came out to something it's a challenge that you realize, man, this is going to be hard. I'm sick of being in this position at work. But if I take the time now and fill out these other applications, I can get myself into another position on the job. But if I take the time and make these extra phone calls, maybe I can figure out another way to advance myself in my career. Man, you know what? I just can't seem to get a hold of myself financially. I'm never going to be financially free. But if I take the time to invest in learning maybe the market, learning maybe the assets that I have, how can I make these assets that I have grow for me financially? But if you can't stop with just saying, man, I just can't. You can't stop there. That may be true. You can't do it. But if I call this person over there, they can. And they can help me do it. But you have to really, that is really making the message that you're giving to yourself receivable. It's very important and critical to that fact to understand is a difference between making messages something that you heard and making messages something that is receivable for you. Because when you make it receivable, now you're making it executionable in order for you to get to that goal and get to that destination that we're trying to get to in our lives. So that's really important. That's one of those messages that I really want you to think about that and think about and plug in your previous situations, your previous I can'ts, like I just can't do that, and add that. But if what is your but if You're going to really find a lot there. And sometimes it gets to be like, man, you know what? I slept on that one because I should have tried this. But that's okay, because now you're making the message receivable and it's never too late to be able to come up with that. But if So let's that's your homework. Think about those situations that we've dealt with very, very recently. And we kind of say, you know what? That's not something that's going to happen. But if and again, remember, it's not always going to be positive. Sometimes the but if is going to be, nope, that can't happen, but that's better off for me. So that's Mental Conditioning Monday for this week. My name is Elliot Allen. Everybody have a great week. And once again, thank you so much for supporting us here, Mental Conditioning Monday. I will see you guys here again next week. And once again, everybody in Texas, be safe. You guys, hopefully everything's going to come out a little bit sooner than later. You guys are going to get back to normal. But God bless, and you guys be safe.